Hello, I'm João Paulo Casarotti, and on this video I will be performing and talking about the work Musette from Ana Madalena Bach's booklet. Here it comes. Okay, now we're going to be talking a little bit about the challenges on this piece and how to properly move your right hand, your left hand, and how to coordinate these hands. When looking at the score, you'll notice that you have these abruptly changes on dynamics, right? And you also have these changes on register of the instrument. And you have leaps in both hands. So that's kind of challenge to do this change of register of the instrument and change dynamic. So we'll be talking about specifically how to properly move quicker and by mapping this distance and making the leaps, if not disappear, become smaller. You also have contrasting articulations among the hands. So the right hand here, you notice you have legato, and the left hand you have staccato. So the piece has full of contrasting. Another section here you have legato on the right hand while staccato on the left hand. So that's another challenge thing. Okay, let's talk about your right hand. So your right hand, you will be starting on your D major position 5, D major pentachord. So I'm there on D major, and I'm going to be starting playing the pentachord starting from the pinky. So right away I'm going to do a forward motion, and I'm going to do over shape, under shape, and over. Notice I'm doing this shape. And that's forte, right? So I'm dropping faster into the keys and transfer the weight. Now, when I switch to the other D major 4, instead of I just lift and try to find myself, I'm actually going to be using rotation when I play the D to find myself, the 3 black keys here, and that brings me right there. So one more time I will show you how I'm doing. I rotate my thumb and that brings me here. In that way, this distance becomes really smaller because I'm feeding the black keys and I just make me directly to D major 4. So, and I can do this looking at the keys and then without looking, you end up going to learn this distance. And now here I have to change dynamics, so piano. So I'm doing under bounce, 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 bounce. Again, I'm doing under shape because I'm going out of my body. And the A, I'm bouncing under shape and bounce, 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 over shape and bouncing. So under shape, bounce, 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 bounce. Notice as I'm doing this, I'm also doing shaping too on the staccato. Over, under, and over. So, in piano, it's lower to the keys. Now I'm looking at that A, and I'm going to rotate there. The same thing. Rotate back, and piano. So again, under bounce, 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 drop. So that's your section A for the right hand. Now the left hand, what's happening here, you're bouncing D2 to D3. And make sure you don't need to keep your hand open and stretching, just to keep your hand in a natural position and feel the longer fingers on the black key. So I'm mostly bouncing and feeling myself around the black keys. This D going to the next D, I'm bouncing. And notice I'm arriving tall. Bouncing loud, so fast into the keys. Now here, to find my F sharp on the next position, I'm just gonna play this D, rotating this way, and that brings me right here on D major octave 3. And that brings me here, and then here I'm going over, bounce, 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 which is the completely opposite of the shaping of the right hand. Here I'm going under, here I'm going to go over. So it should work like this. So over, bounce, 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 bounce. Now here, when we are going to find ourselves, the A and the D, I'm actually, when I'm playing here, I'm looking ahead. This D first, of the left hand. And I actually can rotate here to find my D. So from this D, I find that D. So as I'm playing here, I'm looking at that D. And since both hands move at the same time, I'm going to always move one hand first. So left, and then I'm looking at the right to move here. So if I do a little faster, you will notice I'm doing left first and then the right. Left, right. And my eyes, as I play here, is looking there, and as I'm going there, I'm already looking to the right. So that's important that your eyes is ahead of where you're doing left, and then as I'm going here to the left, I look at the right. So, and I don't mess up. So make sure you get there first before you start. Left, right, and then loud. And then the same thing. So mapping myself here and using rotation. And that's the way I recommend you to do. Now on the second part, it's important that you notice your left hand first, you're just staying on A, but you finish here on D, right? But you're going A, same thing. Bouncing from A to A, feeling your black keys, your two black keys here around. And then you go to E. So you don't lift and just try to find, your E is already here. So you can keep this E in mind to find the next E. So I don't even need to look at the keyboard to find. With this E, I found the other E. And I can rotate to find. So, and again, bouncing and feeling the black key. And then here when I have the change, I just bring my thumb one note on the D, right? And then here I'm on the 3 notes. And then I am on an A position. And now over, shape, drop. So one more time. So I start on A. And then I feel E. Just bouncing. And now I have my position, A position. Over, bounce, drop. That's my left hand. Now the right hand, I'm starting actually on an A position, but with finger 2 on C sharp, or you can think about a B, but it's finger 2 on C sharp. So I'm doing under, bounce, now bounce, bounce, drop. So 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 2. So under, bounce, 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 drop. And then bounce, 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 bounce. Now I'm going to go back here and I'm going to start with the thumb by rotating left, and then I'll play C sharp 3, right. So left, right, by using forearm rotation, left, right. And here I'm going to bounce B and bounce E. So we'll do left, right, B, A, right, bounce to E. And then I'm going to have to be playing this octave here, and I'm just going to use rotation. I think it's much easier. Right, left, left. Now I rotate bigger to get there. Finger 4, 3, and 5, 4. All legato. Rotation will help you to make it connect. even do 3. I think 3 is better. 5, 4, 1. Rotate bigger. 3, 2, 5, 4. Now you can do this as an echo. Play softer. Same thing. 3, 2, 5, 4. Now I'm gonna be doing here this over shape and under, over, under, bounce. So over, under, bounce. I like to block this. G sharp and A, and D. It's a good way of practicing by blocking. And so you do, and then you get your position. And then I bounce, 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 and I am on A major position, octave 4. Under, bounce, 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 under, bounce, drop. Okay, so one more time the left hand, under, bounce, 5, 2, drop. Bounce, 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 rotate, bounce, bounce. Ear rotation. Now piano. Under, over, under, bounce, 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 bounce. Under, bounce, bounce, bounce. In A major. Okay. Now, when you're playing hands together, you have to think about these different contrasting articulations. So the left hand keep bouncing, the right hand is legato. So I can practice really slow, making sure the left keeps bouncing while the right connects. Left and right. So I get the left first and then the right comes later. Left, right. So you can't do both at the same time. And you can look at earlier. But I think you can do without looking. Piano. Looking at the left, look at the right, and then you can do it. Left, right. Second section is the same thing. You're making sure that you do the different articulation on the right from the left. This is bouncing. So this is this bouncing. Under, bounce, bounce, bounce together. Bounce, 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 bounce. Change, bounce, bounce. Then here comes, here's the staccato and here's legato. First time loud, second time piano. Now I'm blocking the position. I think this is one of the trickiest sections, so make sure that you bounce and play really slow. Get your position. It's helpful. And I'm on A position. Okay, and then you play the A section one more time. I hope this was helpful. Thank you for watching.